All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So we are going to be taking a look at SOUNDHOUND, MVIS, Mavis, and then IMPL? What was it? Oh man, how did I forget? IMPL, it was IMPL. There we go. Okay, great. It's funny because I think the SOUNDHOUND video is almost the opposite of the last video I made on Monday. Okay, so for what seemed very, very odd to me, Monday was the opposite of most of the sector. Lo and behold, today was almost the opposite of most of the sector. So, just that's a little interesting, but you know it. I hope you see it. The 8 moving average is doing its job, right? And we'll talk about all that and more, right? But yeah, man, I love these lines. You know that already, right? Mavis, MVIS, listen, I say it all the time. Good things happen over the 8 moving average. We've seen the bad that happens under the 8 moving average on that. And yeah, it looks like it is trying to do the job. And actually, very similar to this SOUNDHOUND chart that we're looking at. The 8 is just a beautiful bounce point when it's when it's your friend, right? Otherwise, it's this just ridiculous resistance, right? So it's great when it is your friend and your bounce point, right? And then IMPL, look, we talked about it so much. For real, I had it's a 2-page search. I had absolutely no plans on getting this thing. Oh my goodness. So I'm excited to talk about that one, but that one really was something we were talking about live on in the Discord. So we'll go over all that and more, but again, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this YouTube channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do really does help me out so much. But with Thanksgiving around the corner, I can't tell you how thankful I am for just giving me the opportunity to do this, to speak with you all, having these amazing educated conversations. And even when we disagree, it's really cool what we do here. You know that, right? Both ways. Right? Not just what I do, but your contribution as well. All right. So SOUNDHOUND, let's get into it. I'm going to start with how I started the video. All right. I have this hierarchy when it comes to the AI sector. All right. Palantir is very, very much on the higher side of it. Obviously, so is NVIDIA as well, right? But I almost put NVIDIA in its own little boat. But look, this is a negative chart. There's not a lot of good things really happening here. Obviously, it's been amazing. Obviously, NVIDIA has done some crazy things this year, right? So I don't even need to go into any of that. So when I say things are bad, believe me, I'm not talking about like craziness, right? But look, green can turn into red pretty quickly. And it's only been one day, and I'm not really here to talk about NVIDIA, but NVIDIA had a good Monday the 20th and a bad last 2 days, all right? Palantir had a good Monday the 20th and a bad last 2 days. The king or the queen of tech, right? Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I was not ready. I did not know what NASDAQ looked like. Interesting. And this actually validates SOUNDHOUND way more. Interesting. No, it doesn't. Okay, because this one is bad. That's why. I was like, wait, I remember saying it and it didn't. That's why I went. Okay, so yeah, again, what happens? Let me review now that I'm ready. Good day on the 20th for Palantir. Good day on the 20th for NVIDIA. Oops, not new. Good day for CompQ, for NASDAQ right here, right? And then all of a sudden, like I said, this one was bad. You saw the 2 bad candles on the other one. But again, SOUNDHOUND, for whatever reason, has been a little bit inverse the last couple days. That took way too many minutes to really just say that, and I apologize. I really do, okay? A couple things are jumping out. And I think that's actually what was happening as I was kind of doing two things at once. So I know I talked about the 8 moving average at the beginning of the video. This 100 moving average really caught my eye, and I think that's why I kind of rambled a little bit. But we actually haven't really made even a decent attempt, let alone a reattempt, right? And you know, I generally don't put a lot of weight in a wick hit, right? A wick is nothing more than the stick above the candle, right? Or below. Wick is the top or the bottom. I need candles to close over the line for me to believe we've started to attack the line, all right? And yeah, we still haven't come remotely close, right? Maybe I'm using the word remotely a little loosely, maybe a little too cavalier. Like, that's, I guess, remote. Maybe I'm being a little mean, right? But as happy as I was with this look, like, I mean, bouncing on the 8 like a champion, right? Like, you hear me say that very, very often on a number of different stocks, but I'm seeing a very important Friday, right? Because tomorrow there's no trading. We're gonna skip all, because, right, what day is this? This is the 24th. Like, this is the next candle right here, right? So this line's gonna come down. This line's going to go up. You know, I don't know the math behind these 5. I'm just looking at the slope and continuing the line, right? But it kind of seems like they're going to meet tomorrow right here at 222, give or take, maybe 221. But yeah, whatever. We're not here for perfection, right? We're just setting an expectation. I sincerely believe 221, $2.21 for SoundHound will dictate what this does. We still have a positive MACD. All right. I do see the RSI, you know, we want green over red and green over red, right? Like, we like when these two things tell us the same thing. I see a healthy number is, I think, what I'm going to go ahead and try to focus on a little more than the opposite green, red, red, green right here. Okay. If this 220, 221, 222 decides to hold, if we can get over the 100 moving average, all right, I'm gonna delete the line, but you should see it as I'm kind of setting it up, right? Between here and here, between these two lines, I mean, I'm double checking it as I'm saying it, right? But it really is relatively fast. Like, in big single candles, we either move up or move down. We either move up or move down. Like, maybe it's a little noisier, but yeah, I think if we can get over that, we might actually make a pretty quick climb up to this 242. All right, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Again, all about that 100 moving average, all about that thing, okay? Now, if we fail that, all right, if we fail that 220 up, ooh, excuse me, I think we'll very quickly come to that 214 that I've ooh, excuse me, 2 hiccups, my apologies, that I've been talking about for I mean, I think a couple candles at least. But yeah, I think we're going to come to 214 or potentially all the way down to 203, because really it's almost that same comment I made, right? Like, there's not a lot. I guess there is a lot as I zoom out. Yeah, it's okay, whatever. But yeah, I think you lose this line, it'll be a fast fall this line. And again, I'm seeing so much. I'm anticipating a lot happening at 220 on Friday. All right. Again, I kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, but yeah, MACD is still positive. You know, that's always a good thing. I like this healthy number, and I didn't really touch on it yet, but volume is starting to get to a place where the 50 moving average isn't really much of an impossibility, right? So again, when you see these like crazy spikes up, it's obviously going to move the white line up, right? And man, it did a really good job of actually holding it. But I mean, I think it's easy to say since, geez, I mean, basically here, since basically July. And I mean, really, the gap down and the downtrend kind of speaks to it itself. Oh, Lenovo stuff. Yep, I'll go ahead and do that after this. I think since this point right here, it's actually been really hard to get over that white line. And all of a sudden, as it gets down and gets down and gets down and kind of stabilizes here, we're now in a much more comfortable place to break. Again, you know, volume is king, right? I kind of feel bad that it's at the lowest of the lower indicators, but yeah, volume's king, all right? And getting over that 50-day average is an important factor for things to go up. It really is. Again, this white line is the average of the last 50. This is a C. If we're giving out report cards, right, like I'm just asking you to be the average, be the top of the bell curve, right? Obviously, the better above it is even better. But yeah, just hold the line is step one. And I think this is a comfortable area for SoundHound. Now, don't get me wrong, right? Like, we want to go from here. It looks like 9 million is about that comfortable number. Where are we actually at? 8 million. Oh, yeah, perfect. Yeah, we want to go from 9 back up to here, right? And that's how it happens. As you start I'm not going to zoom in here, but yeah, as you start hitting the line, stabilizing the line, you start breaking the line, and like the downward that we saw ideally holds and then picks up, just like price. And look, I've said it for a few videos now easily. Once let me use the word if, because once kind of implies it will. If this thing can get over 260, that 200 moving average line right there, things will go up quickly, all right? On the weekly, oh yeah, that's right. We are over the lines. Where's the 100 at? There's no 100 moving average line just yet on SoundHound. Interesting. So I'm not going to count the lines. But from here to here was 25. It looks like we've at least, I think we're getting close to that 100th week. Because again, the way it works is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On the 8th week, we get the 8 moving average, right? On the 25th, on the 50th, I'm not going to count this, but from here to here was 25. That looks like a little bit more than the from here to here. And if you add another 25 on 50, we're getting close to that 80th, 90th, I don't know, maybe 100th week, right? So nonetheless, immediately speaking, look, we break 240. You can barely see it, but we break 240 and we'll get over that 50 moving average. We break 260, we're over it on the weekly, we're over it on the daily. That's a beautiful double confirmation, right? One more time, 100 moving average has been an impossibility. It has, all right? Friday seems like we're gonna be at a break it or lose it kind of moment. Hey, for all I know, we'll doji it and go on Monday is what I meant to say, sorry. But what I do want to do one more time is look at NASDAQ. Damn, that's an interesting doji. It's a gap up. Did we get over that? What did the stay close at? 14,284. Yeah, obviously it did. No, wait, did it? 14,284. 14,265. How are you going to say? Oh, because of this. Duh. Sorry. Okay. We did not get over the top of this. All right. I'm going to delete that line. But that day closed here. Obviously, we closed roughly 20 bucks below that, right? You know, dojis don't count. I'm not exactly sure if we've bounced up. And I think that quick peak of NVIDIA, this kind of scares me, actually. I think that there's decent reason to believe that we're going to actually, I mean, maybe lose the 8, come down to the 20. Again, I'm not screaming we're going to lose this and worse than that, but I think NVIDIA looks like it wants to come down on Friday, and that might lead NASDAQ. And yeah, overall, again, it's weird because I don't think I've done a really good job of giving you my opinion of if it's going to go up or down. I think I'm leaning on it's going to go down because I'm not 100% sold that it's ready to break the 100 moving average. Overall, though, like I said, I think a lot's going to happen at that 220 number, all right? So, hey, sorry if I rambled. I'm not sure if I did. This was par, maybe. Let me know in the comments if it was subpar, and you're not going to hurt my feelings, I swear. But Friday, one more time, 220 makes the most sense to me of a very, very, very critical moment, all right? All right, let's come into Mavis, microvision. So, Before I start, I got a really nice comment on StockTwits, basically about Mavis. Because again, I don't say it on a lot of stocks. This one has a lot of passion, I can tell. And I'm sure so many people were hyping this thing, and then I'm sure so many people went dark and quiet when that dropped. And that's essentially what the comment was, you know. Few things, you know, I am not a fanboy, right? I'm not here to like pretend when things are good, pretend when things are bad and say that they're good, right? Like there are simple rules that I talk about. You lose a big cluster of 3, oh, that's not good. You lose all 5 moving averages, the pain's not over and you're going to drop a lot, right? And, you know, blah, blah, blah. We'll get to the technicals later, but end of the day, look, we're not playing poker here. I don't need to beat you for me to eat better than you. We actually can both win. Sadly, we can both lose. And hey, you can do well and, you know, I lose, but your win doesn't influence me. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I'm playing me against you. I got no problem with you guys getting as good or you girls getting as good or better than me, right? Because knock on wood, you'll start throwing me a couple random 4 letters and they'll be good. And, you know, hey, there's a beautiful circle that comes here, right? But yeah, end of the day, I don't lose money by making you better, right? Like if we were playing poker and I taught you how I bluff and stuff like that, oh man, that's going to be bad for me, right? But you know, that's not what we're doing here, right? So just very important underlined comment, all right? Let's get into Mavis, all right? And you know, I've said it on every single ticker, right? Good things happen over the 8 and the 20. Good things happen when all of a sudden this 8 line is like an impossibility to lose. Excuse me. Once it's no longer there, and this thing never even used the 20 to bounce, which is its own little weird thing, right? But once you lose the 8 and the 20, oh man, you can no longer get over the 8. The moments that you do, the 20 will stop you. Can't get over the 8, the moments you do, the 20 will stop you. Can't get over the 8, the moments you do, the 20 will stop you. Can't get over the 8, the moments you do, the 20 will stop you. I'm going to say it for another month, basically, right? Then, all of a sudden, things change. And what were 2 lines going down and 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 down, they're now starting to make me believe that they're going up. All right. And sorry to zoom in and out so much. I actually really hate doing that. But one thing I really like about stocks, again, not to go back to it, can you tell I'm a gambler? But roulette, there is a trap for gamblers when they show you the past numbers. Because in roulette, if you see the thing is hit red after red after red, it's hit 15 reds in a row, the back of your head, you're going to think to yourself, oh man, black is due. Black should hit, right? Truth be told, it is the little plastic ball doesn't remember, all right? Stocks remember. These 4 random letters, MVIS, Mavis remembers what it did in May. Mavis knows that when the 8's its friend, dude, it doesn't actually even need the 20 for about a month. You know what I mean? So we are starting to bounce on the 8 like we did here. Now, don't get me wrong. We see the movements here and it quickly fit. Like there are things that need to happen to still believe more. All right. But what were lines going down become more horizontal, then start to go up. That's at least a good start. Now, again, I don't know if you fast forward to this part, but look, when volume is able to start getting near or obviously going above the 50 average day, that's a really important thing, okay? And what happened was during this big spike up, obviously you're going to start to get some crazy volumes, right? And what that's going to do is it's going to mess with the averages. And I mean, since June, since the end of June, we've basically been nowhere really near the white line. All of a sudden, it's kind of starting to flatten out at this like more manageable level. And, you know, it was still a little bit of a difficulty, but now it's way more of a normal. right? So again, as we're able to this and if we can start breaking it, and again, Mavis knows it knows how, it knows that it can like just hold it for a little bit and it'll start to just hold it for, and then it'll come, right? So just give me a hold it for a little bit, and it's all about these two lines. All right. If Mavis can get over the 100, and if Mavis can get over the 200 especially, you break all 5 and you fly, right? We just saw the inverse. You lose all 5 and die, right? Once you fell below, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here, we went from 3 something to basically 2. You lost a really quick 33%. And when I say really quick, I guess it wasn't really quick. It was definitely over a few months. But hey, it was a really quick loss of 33%, right? So you definitely want to be over more, if not all, the moving averages, all right? The important thing to talk about is the fact that the 100 really hasn't even really been touched, right? There was kind of a moment where the thing wicked kind of close, I would say, I guess, right? But yeah, there have been no candles remotely near it since we lost it right here, right? And, you know, these are the last 2 lines for a reason, right? Like, these are difficult lines, let alone when they've been an impossibility. I kind of talk about it. Generally speaking, I assume you got to hit the line a couple times before it's going to break, right? Now, we've seen some, I think with the next one I'm about to look at, IMPL, yeah, I mean, dude, we haven't touched this line since August, and lo and behold, we got over it today, right? So I mean, look, nothing's set in stone, you know that, right? But when we're here to set an expectation, and a little bit of my expectation is this is going to be a difficult line, all right? The one good thing, and I believe I mentioned it on the last video, is I'm glad these lines are going away from each other as quickly as they are, because when they're really tight, it's hard to break. But I mean, this is a good slope. Like, this thing is coming down nicely. It might even take a little bit of a tighter turn. Like, this thing is coming down. This one's staying up here, and that at least gives Mavis a shot to battle the 100, kind of reset, and go to, or hey, battle the 100, have really good spacing between the lines, still have a healthy RSI, start picking up volume, keep that positive MACD, and just go, right? That's also for sure another option. But lo and behold, I like that these 2 lines are quickly going away from each other. And hey, tomorrow, Friday, hopefully we take out this 250 line. Monday, hopefully we're around that 260-ish, which is give or take when this place might, when the ticker might start hitting the 100, right? So Mavis, so far so good. Look, couldn't get over the 50 here. We've now gotten over it. Couldn't continue, but hey, the 8 moving average catches it. We keep going, right? I love me some moving averages. You know that, right? Where are we on the weekly? Yo, this is an interesting weekly. You know I love me some dojis. I do love dojis, and this is an interesting one for sure. All right, obviously there's still a Friday, so we'll see where Friday closes, right? And I was kind of talking about hopefully going a little closer to 160, and yeah, that's basically where the 20 moving average is, right? What is it exactly? 259. If we can do a nice little 260 something, right? I'm not even, 260 would be a beautiful number for Friday. Even if we don't hit that, like I said, give me a nice confirmation of this 8 moving average bounce, take me up to this like 250-ish, and then early next week, I think we battle the 100 and go for the 200. Mavis, more than anything, all right? I'm glad we're over these 2. That's always step 1. I'm glad we've broken the 50. That's clearly a step 2. And I like that the lines went from clearly going down to now even the 20 starting to cross. We're going to golden cross, right? Like, I'll at least end it with that. I don't know if it's going to happen on Friday, but for sure by Monday, that thing's going to golden cross, right? And golden cross just means smaller one going above it. Like, that's a golden cross right there. That's a golden cross because the smaller line went above these 2, right? So Mavis, hey, it's still doing the job. I'm glad we're over the biggest candle to the left. I even think I can raise this line. Let's take that to there. I think this thing's going to go to 255. We'll end it right there. We'll end it right there. I like that. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, IMPL. Okay. Man, first of all, I have to start by saying I had absolutely no plans of even thinking about IMPL today, all right? I rode most of this 100% because of the Discord, 100% because of not me. Like Mr. Onion, dude, we all are. I know there were a few thank yous to the guy, but like this one was the exact same thing I said about MRAI yesterday. Okay, when you break a key line in the middle of nothing but red, 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 there's not a lot it's going to want to do but go up, all right? And IMPL, what this thing did was silly for sure, because look, down here at the break of 38, we break the 50 moving average, all right? Right here, like, no, I got in before that. Where did he see it? Damn, Mr. Onion, what caught your eye? I think he said around 44. Maybe this was his line, if I had to guess. Maybe it was the bottom of this. Yeah, I would guess it was this. Again, I have no idea. I'm kind of making assumptions right now, right? But yeah, by the time it came to me, it was around 47 cents, all right? From there, it was talking about filling a gap, right? And that's an important line right there. Boom, boom. Okay. Actually, yeah, that's an important line right there. From that, that's going to be an important line right there. Boom, boom. And then ultimately, that's going to be the top of the gap right there. Boom, boom. I thought it was a $1.06, whatever, $1.04 here. Okay. So and then yeah, obviously I guess you can draw this one too, because again, this one was a whole day one, so this is basically where things are during the Discord. And again, I have to, like, you can see 80, 82, 86. I think 80 was here for sure. 92 was another number, $1.21, 66. Okay, here's a good one. 66, 87, 121. Basically that, I think it was that. 87, again, 80, whatever. We're not here for perfect. We're here for close enough, right? And then 104, I obviously didn't draw any of the above ones. Why didn't I draw the above ones? Because look, we still are, okay, couple things. So, man, it's hard for me to get my thoughts on this one, right? Because I am actually trying to be objective. I for sure have a little bit of money in this one still. I sold. I'm very happy with where I sold. I held some stocks. Hey, if it falls, I'm not going to be too sad. But if it keeps going, which it actually might, dude, crazy things could happen. But let's just kind of, I'm trying to, like I said, stay impartial here. This 100 moving average line hasn't been an impossibility. We've had a couple moments. We've actually had a little bit more of a sustained thing right here, and this one matters a little bit more for sure. But you know, we've been here. We've actually gotten over it. Decent candle after, beautiful candle after, right? Obviously, we didn't keep going up, and hey, we're not here to really talk about that, but we've had a little attack. We've had a number of attacks right here, and then a decent 3-day sustain, okay? Obviously, none of those were enough. Obviously, we fell back under, right? But lo and behold, we're now back here, okay? It wasn't that long ago that this actually happened, right? So again, I'm not going to repeat a lot of what I said in the beginning, but the stock remembers the fact that it was over the line here, all right? I sincerely believe that, okay? And man, you know, I don't put a lot of weight into after hours, but one thing to just really keep in mind is, hey, what's it going to look like to the 100 moving average? Okay, we really want this thing to actually go over 80 cents tomorrow and keep ripping, right? Losing 72 cents, sorry, I moved out. Losing 72 cents is going to be a little rough. And hey, the line is kind of flattening out, so I really think that's actually going to be the number for Friday, right? Like there isn't as hardcore a drop, and today, I mean, if you zoom in, like that's pretty flat right there, right? So you know, I think it's all about what happens with the 100. And I will be, again, I held some stocks, right? Like I don't like telling you guys that I have money in stuff, because I don't want you to think like, oh, dude, the guy behind the screen's got money. But dude, believe me, I get things wrong often, right? Like I would live next to more celebrities than I do today if I was always right? But right now, if the way this thing works is break the 8, go to the 20, break the 20, go to the 50, break the 50, go to the 100, break the 100, go to the 200. And though this is a little high, I'll be real honest, on my other two, I don't actually use the RSI on one of these. I think on the one I don't. I use something else, and that something else looks a little healthier than this 85 here. So on this stack, yeah, that's a little bit of a high RSI, and really the RSI, can I draw a line in this? Get out of here. Oh, I didn't know that. That's so much easier. You can see it really doesn't go above that line. So the RSI isn't giving the best signal, but hey, I'll be honest with you, right? Like, this looks good, that looks all right, this is pump and dump, or it's gonna hold. All right, like if and again, I think these are the numbers that matter are this: 72 cents, 65 cents, and 51 cents. Those are the numbers down if it decides to fall down. Otherwise, 80 cents, 104, because that's essentially the 200 moving average, and then that's going to be something. That's the original gap. But yeah, maybe it's that one, actually. I'm going to give it that one. I think it's 134. I think Mr. Onion clicked this one with his 120-ish number. I think I like 134 a little more. And I think I said 134 on a different one. Did I not? Give me a sec. I have no idea. Again, whatever. I like these. I think 80, 104, 134 are the three up. I think 72 cents, 65 cents, 51 cents are the drops down. Again, I don't put a lot of weight in post-market. I will say I know it's not great to lose double digits in post-market, but when you've made 143% on a single day, in my opinion, you either lose 33% or more after hours, or you don't have that bad an after hours, all right? I'm trying to be as unbiased I can. Did I flash the weekly? I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, this is also setting up for a nice weekly. This is, I mean, the 20 has been a bit of a difficulty too, right? So, you know, I don't know if it's just going to be another rejection of the 20, or if this is going to be the one that breaks it and next week keeps going up to the 50, which is sitting at, you know, $1.50, right? So, hey, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, you know it. Thank you. Thank you.